Okay, I think we're live. Today, what I'm going to try to do is create a Flutter app that will combine chats from different streams. Right now what I do is I have my phone up on the side of my computer, like this. I don't know if you'll see this because I have this new thing on the stream where I try to get my face to be like just the only thing that you see in the camera. I'm using some sort of like prism lens thing. It's this app, and it basically will take away the background of the shots, and this is what it looks like if I have it off, and this is what it looks like when I take away the background. I feel like that's a better option because then you'll be able to see everything more clearly. And it also allows me to be, hopefully, anywhere while I stream, which is one of the criteria for me to be able to stream. But right now I have the phone on the side here, but I can only see one of the chats, and I'm streaming in two places. So what I want to do is I want to create a Flutter app that basically combines these two in one, so that I can keep track of it in one place instead of having to have several different ones open. I also only use my laptop for streaming at this point, so I don't have multiple screens, which means I can't have a giant screen next to me that has like 3 or 4 different chats open. And I tried to look for this, but I couldn't find an app that allows you to do this. Maybe there's one, but I haven't been able to find it. And the time tracking app, I'm going to continue with that. It's just that to be able to stream that thing, I need to be able to have a look at the chat at the same time. So, and I think this will be a really quick project. Famous last words, but I think it'll be a quick one. Okay, so first thing, we're just going to ask ChatGPT to build out a basic app that does this for us. Can you create a Flutter app that combines Okay, so this is a basic prompt, and we're going to see what it comes up with, and just see what it's done. And once it's done that, we can then tweak it and make it better. But it would be so cool if it just like does this for me and I don't have to think about it, because this is just one side project that I was thinking of creating. Follow Twitch authentication to auth. Okay. Web view. Enjoy your channel. Authentication setup. Twitch. Follow the authentication again to get your auth. Okay, I think we're gonna try this. So ls and then flutter create chat app. No, wait. Okay, and then flutter. So if I have any plans to get back into web development, I've never really done web development, so I don't have any plans for it at this point. Although some people were saying that the last video that I did on my channel, which is where I did the YouTube analytics thing, some people were saying that that could be an SaaS app or software as a service app, which I guess is like a web app. From what I get, is going to be, you're going to need web development to be able to build that, and so that could be potentially what I'll do. It depends. I like the idea of just having an app because then you have it with you at all times. But again, like, it's pretty much the same with a website. Okay, so we have the basic app up. Now we need to do some of these things. So web view Flutter, we need to add to the pubspec.yaml. I always forget, I think this is where we add it. So Almir Rekanovic, hey, I'm a QA engineer but want to start creating some apps, have some ideas. Do you recommend Flutter or React or something else? I am obviously using Flutter, but I think I talked about this on the last stream, which is if I would start over, I don't know that I would actually pick Flutter, because React seems to be, since React is like its own entity sort of thing, Flutter is just a side project of Google. But from what I don't know if React is its own entity, but I feel like React is its own entity. Maybe someone else in the chat knows this, but either way, I feel like with React, if you learn how that system works, then you will be able to develop websites and apps at the same time. Like, it will be the same process from what I understand, and it'll be the same language, it'll be the same structure, all that sort of thing. So I think that's better, because I don't think that Flutter is as good when it comes to web development. But again, I haven't actually tried developing websites with Flutter, and I don't think it's as popular as it is with developing apps. So in that sense, I would probably choose React without actually having tried it myself. So I don't know if it's good advice. Okay, copy all this. Lib. So this is where I think ChatGPT is a really good thing, because maybe, if it's possible, your Twitch channel. Okay. Because like, if ChatGPT just does this for me, then I essentially have the app already done, and I don't have to. And since this is not something that I want to be like a perfect, amazing app, I just want this to work so that I can get on with the actual thing that I want to stream or the actual app that I want to build. So it's like almost like a productivity tool in that sense, where it's just like it will build this for me and I don't have to spend time researching and like figuring out if it will work. So what's the best piece of programming advice you would give to a 17-year-old? Depends. If you know how to code, then I don't know what I would give, what kind of advice I would give. If you don't know how to code, I would just suggest to learn any language and to not focus on what language to learn, because I feel like that's one of the biggest things that people get stuck on. It's like the first thing that I got stuck with was like, which language should I learn? And because I couldn't figure that out, I thought it was like this thing where if I learn one language, then it's like actual languages like English, Swedish, German, where once you've learned one language, you're so invested in that and it's not easy going from one to the other. But with programming, it's not the same at all. It's like, I always explain it to people like that it's more like accents of a language. So if you think about someone from England versus someone from America versus someone from Australia, they will all understand each other, but they'll have maybe some slightly different, like, first of all, they'll have different pronunciation of words, but then they'll also have some different words that they use. Like Australians will use things like bogan, which is a word for someone that is well, what would you call that? Like not well dressed, or not that a person that looks a bit like they don't take care of themselves, you would call that a bogan. But it wouldn't necessarily be always a, like, friends can call each other bogans and it's not like a big thing. But that's what it's like with programming languages. It's essentially you'll have to learn maybe some different words or how you say things in the new language, specifically like how you pronounce things, but not the base structure will always be the same. Okay, info plist, where is that? Runner. Okay, where do we add this? Okay, NSA. And this is again where you just give ChatGPT, where should I put this code? Okay, so it was where I thought it was. Okay, and then we'll see in the Android file, Android app source main Android manifest. Android app source main Android manifest. Okay, let's just see what this is. Permission.internet. Let's change. Okay, let's see what happens when we run it. Now it shouldn't really work because we're not using the actual chats, but if we do this, test why is that wrong? Constructor called const, try remove const, okay. So right now we're using this, but what we really want to do is we want to use the actual chats. So how do we do that? Pop out chat. Okay. I don't know if I'm like showing things I shouldn't be showing right now, but we're gonna pretend like I'm not and just hope that this is all fine. And then run it again. Not really sure what error we're running into, but it could be this, that this is not an actual chat either. So we're gonna go to this one, and then we're gonna go new chat window, copy this, and then do that. And we'll see what happens when we do this. Okay, so let's copy the error. Wait. Okay, so reloaded 0 libraries. unable to establish connection on channel. Web view error Flutter Dart unable to establish connection. Okay, I got this error. Info playlist, ensure NSA transport security is set as you did before. Okay, so maybe if we do this, pod install. Ah, okay. So we're seeing some chats. It's not displayed in the best way, I guess, but I wonder if I could read this. So the way to improve this, I think, would be to create, because you can connect it using the API, and I think that would be the way better option, because that would mean that anyone could use this app without having to like find the actual URL for the chats and like copy that and paste it into the actual app, because that's going to be a horrible solution, but it's something that could be used. But it's just that right now I don't know how to, if I want to get the OAuth token and all that stuff, it's not going to really work, I don't think. Okay. Well, actually, let's see here. Let's change this to column. And let's change them to scrollable so that we can scroll through them. Shit. Okay. Is it just me, or did it not at all add or change it to be scrollable? Okay, so here we go. Single child scroll view, that's what we want, I think. So let's see when we run that again, see what happens. Okay, so it seems like we have to log in for the the Twitch chat, which is actually okay, but we can't do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to run this on my phone now just to see if it will work and it will give me what I want, or if I actually will be able to read it. Would you like to download and install this update now? Not now. Because maybe we'll have to install that update to be able to run it on my phone, but if not, Xcode. Let's see. Okay, let's run it. To use the enable developer mode in settings. Okay. Okay, so it turns out I have to restart my device. Let's see. Okay. So while we're doing that, we could actually add something, which is not now. Okay, we're connected. So let's see, build only, okay. What? But I just turned it on. Not now. And iPhone. Run. Okay. Build failed. Of course it did. Why did it fail? Could not locate device support files. You may be able to resolve this issue by installing the latest version of Xcode from App Store. Oh, this is so annoying. It's always the case too. It's always like you have to keep everything updated, and I am really bad at keeping stuff updated. So I guess what we have to do is go to the App Store, Xcode. Okay, so it is up to date, it seems like. So maybe it's the actual update that I need to install on my phone then. Open -a sim. Okay, so 16 pixels is maybe the size that we want. 16, oh, okay, wait. Font size, where do we have that? Font size here, change font size. Okay, on pressed icon button. No. Okay. So it seems like the change font size thing doesn't work. What happens if we do that? Okay, now we have no errors. Let's ask ChatGPT, is there any So I think maybe the best way is always the same, and that is to do it properly instead of trying to do it the fast way. Because right now I'm trying to do it the fast way, which is just to have these pop out chats show up here, which does work, I think, but this text will just be way too small for me to read, I think. So instead of having it look like this, we could set it up properly and use the API. The only thing is I don't know how to do this with an API, considering the fact that I don't want to show you guys the tokens that I'm going to use, because I don't want to get hacked. And in order to do this, I will need to have some sensitive information shown. Now we could potentially actually create a twitch.tv. Could we create a new account? Sign up. Username. Tester. Blah, blah, blah. API tester. Code. Okay. Password has to be. Okay. What is the password going to be? So Anders Giski said that you could put it in a file that you don't need to show, and that's true, but the only thing is I think I need another monitor to be able to do that, and now I only have one screen, so wherever I go here, you'll be able to see everything. So I could pause the stream and do all that stuff, but I don't know. I feel like it would be a lot of me just pausing the stream to do something that I should not, or I don't want to share. So how okay. Okay, so let's go to Creator Dashboard. Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's just see what it created now. So actually, let's create a new file and do login. No, Twitch chat dart. And then rename this chat app. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it for a bit. Okay, I'm back. Let's see, what was I gonna ask? HTTP. If you already add, okay, HTTP. Where do I get the... Okay, so it seems like this will not work. No matter how I bend this, I don't think. So what we could do is we could delete this, and then we can rename this to main, save it, and then run the app. And we'll see what happens if we run in with the API tester code name, and if I remember the password. And then we'll see what this was. So I'm just gonna Okay, I'm back. So access denied, you do not have authority to access this page. Okay, yeah, actually that makes sense. So if we pop out this chat instead, and then we'll do the same thing again, but we'll use this as the pop out chat. Save it, and then run. Okay, so we seem to have the chat room up, so that this basic version of the app works if we want it to look like this, but we probably don't want it to look this way, because we want to have, well, we want it to be some sort of times 0.45 times 0.45. We want it to look a little bit better than this. Okay, so this is better. Now the question is, can we possibly increase the size of the YouTube chat? Is it possible to increase the size of the YouTube chat? Well, you have to ask the right question. We don't want to increase the size of the chat, we want to increase the font size of the YouTube chat. Inject CSS styles. So the question is, like, it seems like it doesn't want to do this. Failed evaluating the JavaScript instance of NS error null. Web view host. Okay, so we've installed this, and now what if we do what if we copy all this and then URI can't be assigned parameter web URI. Let's go to URI parse. Is used to create URI. My apologies. Okay. So this is the problem with ChatGPT, I guess. Sometimes it will just reply with the exact same thing thinking that it solved the issue that you asked for, but it doesn't solve it. So what is it saying? In this code, URI parse is used to create a URI object from the URL string. Then let's pass a URL for the URL request. This way we create a web URL. Okay, maybe, I think, what if we do this? So I think that might solve it. Now I just made something up, so I don't know if that actually makes any sense, but could. Package Flutter in-app web view, failed assertion to in-app web view platform instance is not equal. Platform implementation has not been set. Please ensure that an app implementation of in-app web view has been set to the in-app before use. Okay. To resolve this issue, you need to ensure that you have properly initialized Flutter web view. This is added, and okay, I'm just gonna grab my protein shake and then I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Okay, maybe that's what we need to do. Okay, so I'm wondering if this could be possible. Like, from what I understand here is that we would put the, no, actually, HTML string. All right, we seem to be able to get... Wait, why are we able to get this? That doesn't make sense. In-app web view, this is what we want. So why am I chewing my drink? The reason I was chewing my drink is because I have oats and spinach and things in here as well, so it's not that easy to just drink it, and I find when I just try to drink it purely, then it doesn't work. Oh, it works now. Perfect. Okay, so now let's see if we can change the size of this. Using what ChatGPT told us to use. Okay, on load stop. Okay, so it doesn't seem like this changes. What we want. Okay, so I think I might have found something here. I think we could do that. Maybe. Initial URL request, okay. Initial URL request. It seems like we change it here, the text size, and if we change that to be 200, the thing is that nothing really happens. 1000, just to see what, if it ever changes. Okay, so that apparently this doesn't seem to do anything, and I don't understand why it doesn't do anything for us. I feel like there is something here, so maybe if we do update text size, we copy this function. And we put it here. If actually, let's try something, because I just realized that maybe it's possible that it actually works already. So comment this out, comment that out, and then comment this out. And we'll see what happens if we run this. Alright, so it seems like it doesn't actually do anything, so that's good. That means that maybe this will change something for us. Actually, let's copy all of this and create a new file, test, save it, and then URL should be this URL. Okay. And then rename this one to test2, skip changes, and then test will rename to main, and then run. Okay, now okay, it seems like it actually does something. When we press the plus thing, it does increase the size. So let's start it out by being 200 and see if that helps. Yes! Oh! Okay! That means that we can see our chat here, which is a really good thing. 250. Okay, now the question is if we can, what we can replace and what we can remove. We can remove all the actions, I think. Okay. And then we can copy the code that we have here that should already work. So single child scroll view body. Okay. Replace this part. And then copy that. Okay, so it seems like it might work. Now the only thing is to then run this on my phone, and hopefully I'll be able to keep track of all the chats at the same time. Settings. Okay, so I'm gonna try to replace this with the actual chat. Run it again. Okay, now I'm gonna try to log in using my actual username and password, and then we'll see if we're gonna see the Twitch chat as well in this thing. But in order to do that, I have to pause the stream so that you guys don't see my password. So I'll be back very soon. Okay, so I think I might have done it now. The only thing is I can't scroll on this list here. I can scroll down here if I want to, but I can't scroll up in this list. So I don't really know why I can't do that, but we're gonna see if we can do something about it. Wrap with widget. Yeah, so the APIs definitely makes more sense than web views. It's just that it turns out that with the Twitch API, you have to have an actual backend server, and you have to have like a website that you can redirect the user to go back to the app or something like that. So if I want to use the APIs, it's just a whole big process that's way more work than what I think I need for this project. Because right now all I want to do is just make this, make it something super basic that I can just have for myself and use to kind of keep track of two chats at the same time. But yeah, APIs would be way better. Okie dokie. Okay, I think we have it. Now we just need to change this again to 4. Run. And now we have 2 chats at the same time. So I can keep track of both chats in one place. Okay, that's actually really good because now I can... okay, exception was thrown. We don't want the exception to be thrown. Okay, anyway, we can now see chats from both the Twitch and the YouTubes. In the same place. I feel like this could be... It would make sense to kind of use this or create a better version of this app, I guess. Because I think this is something that more people would probably want to use. Is it possible to use font color or background color for each chat source and show them in the same window? I don't know, because the thing is right now I'm basically just displaying what you would get in Twitch or in other streaming platforms. So I'm not necessarily gonna be seeing, I just get confused, like now I can't scroll in this chat for some reason. Why can I not scroll in that one? So I'm just displaying a web window, which is essentially just what you get on the streaming platforms themselves. So it's not something that I can customize here, at least. What could maybe be done is like extracting the text from the messages that you see on screen here in some sort of way. Maybe there's a way to use web scraping with Flutter, which I don't know if there is. Or it could be something where, or you could use, which would be the better option, would be to use an API, because then I could get the actual messages for myself and I could combine them in maybe in one window even, to kind of, and then I could have some sort of highlighter, so like a highlighter for Twitch and a highlighter for other platforms, and then I'd be able to, I personally would be able to at a glance see like, okay, this message comes from this person, this message comes from that person, and they're on this platform or on that platform. That could make sense. But still, I don't know. Now I can scroll here. And now I can still scroll here. All right, it seems like it does work. And this is what I wanted to create. Now the next step is going to be to update my phone, I guess, so that I can then see if I can run this on my phone, so that for the next stream I will be able to answer both the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat at the same time. Which I think is kind of useful if I'm going to be streaming on 2 platforms at once. I'm not going to be switching from one to the other. I'm just going to try streaming to both services at the same time. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to accomplish today, and I think I'm gonna call it a day here, unless someone has any specific questions for me. I'm gonna have a look through the chat and see if there's any questions. Is it a good time to upgrade my CPU, or is it going to be a huge leap soon? I don't know. I have no idea. Have you ever considered Django in backend development? So I've actually used Django, I think, to build an app, but it was like several years ago. And I haven't used it since, and I only used it for like a small thing, so I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but from what I understood at the time, it seemed like a good thing. I would go with Fast API for Python API. Fast API. Okay. For building APIs with Python. Yeah, I don't quite remember what I was using, because I did create some APIs using Python a couple of years ago, REST APIs and things like that. And I think I was using Django for it, but I don't quite remember. I have used Android Studio. I've built apps in Android Studio when I was doing like, what do you call it? Like single platform app development, where you just like, you build the app for Android and then you build the app for iOS, and you do it twice. You essentially do the work twice. So I have used it. I really don't like Android Studio. I think it's like the worst IDE that's out there, but maybe that's just personal preference. I just don't think it looks good, and I feel very uncomfortable whenever I use it. Did you have a job in development before YouTube? I did not really. I studied software development at university, and I've had 2 jobs when it comes to software development. But the first job was just me, before I even started the course at university. I actually started applying for jobs, and I was like, because I felt like, well, maybe I should have some sort of, I don't know, weekend job or something that I could do in the afternoons or something, to help me kind of get even more experience as a software developer, so that when I finish my degree, I could get a job way easier. But so what I did was I read the first course that we had, which was object-oriented programming, I read that book before the semester started, and then I just started applying for jobs saying like, I already read the first book for the course, so I do know some things, but I'm not a professional programmer. And then there was this new startup company here in Gothenburg that basically asked me if I wanted to, or let me come in for an interview. And then he said that, well, you can work here as a side thing along with your studies, and we will pay you per hour for small projects that you can do, and it can be a way for me to then get more experience as a software developer. So that kind of gave me showed me that getting a job as a programmer is probably going to be pretty easy, since I had no experience and I hadn't even started learning to code properly in like university, but I actually just still was able to get a job and get paid to code, which I was working with JavaScript at the time for that company, but I was not doing a good job, to be honest, because I didn't know enough. So it's like, it was very difficult. And then I got a job at a startup in Silicon Valley actually, but that was right when the YouTube channel took off. At the start, someone contacted me and asked me to work as a Flutter developer for that company. So I did that for a couple months, but then when it came time, because they were basically promising me like, okay, you're gonna get equity in like a couple weeks or in whatever time. And then they just kept pushing that forward and forward and forward. And finally they were like, no, you're not getting equity. And at that point I was like, okay, I'm not gonna stay then. But that was also mostly because the YouTube thing was taking off in a really big way. So I felt like it wasn't worth working there if I wasn't going to get equity, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, Flask. I've used Flask too, but I don't remember if it's just for web development or if it was for if it was for APIs as well. For Python API, Flask is the king. Oh yeah. Is that why you choose Flutter over Android Studio? Yes, I choose Flutter because you can develop for two apps or for both platforms at the same time. But okay, it's 11:09 a.m. here in Sweden, and I'm gonna take a break and hopefully come back tomorrow if the whole streaming setup decides to work. We'll see, but I'll be back soon. I'm gonna try streaming more now and continue working on the time tracking app. So that's gonna be the next thing. But thank you so much for hanging out and helping me with whatever you've helped me with today. And yeah, I'll see you soon.